Hey Rykros gaming fans, welcome back to episode 2, part 2 of Magnetizing the Tidewall Rampart. And today we're going to be focusing on a couple of different techniques on magnetizing that I needed to use in order to get the shield line set up. So first off, we're going to look at the base of the shield line. I wanted to make sure that nothing on the shield line was going to be exposed. No magnets were going to be exposed to be seen. So of course that would mean that we were going to need to magnetize on the bottom. And here you can see that I've added two 3mm magnets, one on each side, in order to give good stability and support and strength. And two over there. Of course I used, as you can see, white paint to mark where it needs to line up with everything else. And I made sure to also leave the magnet sticking out just a hair's width so we can have a nice solid connection with the magnets on the other pieces. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, and the next two pieces should be pretty straightforward too. The end cap piece here has two magnets on it, just the same as the shield line base, and they're sticking out just a hair as well, and these quite literally slide into place and snap in. Just like this. It's got a nice, good, solid pull to it to put it back in place. And with a little bit of shaking, it can wobble a little bit, but as you can see, it's strong enough that it just pulls it back itself back into place. So from there we went on to the angle piece. It was basically the exact same thing times 4 magnets, one for each side. Pretty easy peasy stuff there. And it too just slides right into place. And of course the other shield line would magnetize right to the other side. This is a little bit heavier, it's got a little bit more weight, so it can wiggle a little bit. It wiggles just a little bit more because of the strength. But now we're getting into the difficult part, and the part that I found a little bit challenging, and it would be the stairs that are going to go to the platforms down to the shield line. Now, I'm going to be magnetizing the stairs the same as I would have on episode 1, where we put a magnet on one end and a piece of metal on the other, and 2 magnets right here in the slots to match up with the magnets on the platform. But I wanted to make sure that this slides through here, and I didn't want the magnets to show up here. So what I did was I actually put them in from the bottom, and I sunk them down really deep until the point where it was practically paper thin. I highly recommend trying to get the appropriate sized end mill bits because they have flat bottoms instead of the concave bottoms of a regular drill bit. But what I ended up doing was I used a regular drill bit, got down as close as possible, and then I used a small screwdriver that I found that just happened to be 3mm wide, and it was a flathead, and I just sharpened it up just a little bit, and I stuck it inside, and I just twisted it back and forth until it was nice and flat. And in order to check how deep you've gone, all I did was I went a little bit of a ways, and I held this up to a bright light, and it got to the point where I could actually see through the plastic, and I knew I was right at my limit point of how deep I could go. And I'm not sure if you're able to see that in there. See if I can angle it just some. Might be able to catch some of it. You can see it's pretty far in there. So now that I've got those sunk deep enough, it's just a paper width away from breaking through that surface right here. And it allows it to magnetize and snap into place fairly firmly. It's not as firm as this one, and definitely not as firm as this one, but it definitely does the trick. So, as you can see, lift, move around, gives a little bit of a wiggle, but it doesn't fall off. Now, we can zoom out a little bit, and I can show you that with several pieces, we can magnetize into place. We can even put 2 shield walls together. Get this other one that I got off screen here, and it's just gonna slide right in. Gonna have to even zoom out a little more than that. And of course we can put our end caps on the ends. And that would be a dual shield line. Of course, as you can see, I don't have any of the little posts that stick up to put the blue shields in, or any of the workings that are located on each end. But you know, those will be sprayed and primed and painted and stuff as I go, and then glued into place. But in the end, there you go. Here's part 2 of our magnetizing of the Tidewall Rampart build. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's viewed the videos thus far. And if you can, please hit like and subscribe. And we'll come back next week with episode 2, part 3, where we're going to actually talk about getting the gun rig magnetized and even lit up with an LED. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you guys later. Tau va.